leader and the chief security officer of the country on the very, very challenging security situation here in Rivers State.
We believe that by this meeting with the President, actually we will find a way out of resolving this crisis in Rivers State to strengthen the democracy in Nigeria.
On Tuesday, 4 other fellow governors, Muazu Aliyu of Niger, Rabiu Kwankwaso of Kano, Sule Lamido of Jigawa, and Murtala Nyako of Adamawa State, paid him a solidarity visit. Whatever crisis the situation in the River State House of Assembly may have thrown up, the groundswell of support for Governor Amechi speaks volumes. Charles Aruka for Channels Television News.
But in Abuja, the National Economic Council meeting did hold without the governors who visited River State. The council members frowned on the loss of over 400,000 barrels of crude oil every day to oil theft. The meeting was chaired by the Vice President Namadi Sambo, and it was held to work out strategies for the effective repair and supervision of Nimbe and Trans-Niger pipelines currently shut down. Briefing journalists afterwards, the governor of Delta State, Emmanuel Uduaga, said oil theft in the Niger Delta region is a troubling development and the federal government is determined to take action.
We are losing about 400,000 barrels of oil per day. And out of these 400,000 barrels, Shell alone are losing through the shutdown of their 2 main pipelines that are in Bayelsa and Rivers. Something close to about 300,000 barrels. The Trans-Niger pipeline that takes crude oil to Bonny is shut down now by Shell, that's SPDC, and also the Nimbe Creek pipeline is also shut down because of the high rate of vandalism that has taken place in those 2 pipelines. Now, as they do repairs, the thieves go and do more damage. So the first thing that the council has approved is for an urgent steps to be taken for those pipelines to be opened. And once they are opened, we'll get the daily production, which is, I said, is between 220 and 300,000 barrels per day. And what strategy are we putting in place to open those pipelines? We have mandated the governments of Bayelsa and River State to hold meetings with the Joint Task Force, with Shell, and other stakeholders to ensure that those 2 pipelines are open in the next few days or a few weeks.
Now, staying with the oil industry, the full implementation of the Petroleum Industry Bill will not take effect until after 5 to 6 years from the day it's passed into law. Now, this is coming from the Minister of Petroleum, Mrs. Dezani Alison Madeke, who has called for a dispassionate consideration of the bill by the National Assembly. She was speaking at the opening of the Senate Joint Committee public hearing on the PIB, where she explained that the proposed powers of the minister, as contained in the bill, is in tandem with international best practices. Some industry players have criticized the powers vested in the Minister of Petroleum in the bill and called for a review.
This is one gathering many Nigerians have been waiting for, a public hearing on the Petroleum Industry Bill by the Senate Joint Committee on PIB.
Promote unity, happiness.
The last attempt to pass the bill was embroiled in controversy following the emergence of several versions of the bill. This time, the Senate committee and major players were challenged to be fair in their deliberations.
What I do not want is a situation where people threaten, if you don't do this, we pack out of Nigeria. That is not a correct position. We are conscious of the fact that there is competition in the oil industry. We know that we have to be competitive, but it is not at the expense of the Nigerian government and the people.
Key proposals like the powers of the Minister of Petroleum and the establishment of the Petroleum Host Communities Fund dominated discussion. Some state governments advocated a review of the proposed powers of the Minister of Petroleum, but the minister explained that the proposal complies with international best practice.
By the virtue of the provisions of Section 315 of the Constitution, all other laws that had been in existence, it is now the responsibility of the National Assembly to continue to legislate. And it is therefore our submission that it is not, the powers should not be confined to the function of one tier of government alone.
The Petroleum Industry Bill is indeed a landmark legislation. However, there are several contending issues. This committee is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that all contending issues are addressed in the best interest of Nigerians. From the National Assembly, Paul Mwachiku, Channels Television News.
Away from the PIB, the 2013 Appropriation Amendment Act, presented by President Goodluck Jonathan, has scaled second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, which went through the first reading on March the 27th, has been a source of disagreement between the executive and the legislature. Speaking on the general principles of the bill, one of the lawmakers, Mr. Samson Osage, pointed out that the House needs to critically examine the level of implementation of the budget so far and the actual personnel cost of ministries, departments and agencies. The bill has been referred to the Committees on Appropriation and Finance.
I know that so many of us are having some reservations on the passage of this bill for second reading and eventual consideration. But as I've pleaded, and I know that as at yesterday, we have agreed that we should take this for second reading and send the document to various committees affected by the proposals, where all that is needed to be done will be done in terms of ensuring that all issues are addressed. Please, I still plead that we stand by that understanding, and when we come for the consideration of the report of the committee, at the committee level, we address all those concerns, please. On this note, may I therefore put the question? Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.
In part two, after the break, Lagos Court of Appeal grants 22-year-old commercial bus driver bail over attempted murder charges. That's in a moment. Please join us.
MTN all the wow bonus will give you double the amount to recharge for your MTN line. Press star 885 recharge card pin hash when you want recharge, and you go get 100% instant bonus so jolly till midnight.
MTN, everywhere you go.
I hear the sound of greatness. I hear the wings of the eagles as they rise. I hear the drums from Africa. The cherry crowd, the sound of victory inside. So let's open our hearts and give it our might to show the world we have the power. We did it before, let's do it again. We can be the wind beneath the eagles. Fly again, once again. We will fly with the eagles. We'll be there till the end, and we'll fly with the eagles. 'Cause we know the end is victory. Yes, we know.
Guinness, made of more.
You look so happy today.
Yes, dear, because I'm in love. She's so smooth.
What are you talking about?
I brought her home. She's in the car.
Where is she? Where's the husband snatcher? You scared me.
Delight your loved ones with a plate of Honeywell semolina today. Honeywell semolina, a plate of delight.